Black culture is American culture. As an Indian man that was born and raised in America, I'm telling you right now, every aspect of American culture, sports, fashion, art, music, all of it, it's all Black culture. Black culture is American culture. This superior race bullshit that's being spewed right now, that's what it is. It's just bullshit. Because if you take away your money, you take away your business, you take away your influence, it all collapses. The American economy will collapse without you. Some of the single most greatest inventions that were created in America were by Black people. I'm just tired of this narrative that oh, people are too ghetto. Oh, people are this and people are that. You'd be nothing without them. You'd be nothing without them. And this isn't just for my Black friends. This is for all minorities. They would be nothing without you. And another thing, stop supporting these corporations that literally disrespect you on a daily basis.
Fear is the only weapon that white supremacy has.
Hello brothers and sisters, I really hope you're all doing fine from wherever you're watching me from now. Most of the white people are now worried with the fact that the Black community is silent in these hard economic times. Now, most of them thought that this was going to affect the Black people the most. Now, the Black people have earned immunity and resilience over time, and they are now minding their own businesses and working out to make themselves better. This is worrying white farmers, it's worrying businessmen, because they expected the Black people to be so much desperate and to come and start working for them. So let's watch this video, then have a really quick discussion at the end of it. Thank you so much.
We just minding our business. Excellence is going to come out. If left to our own devices, we will fuck around and be the best at everything. We was dominating at tennis so hard they had to come out with pickleball just so they could find something that we hadn't beat them in. They bit their lip till it bled trying to keep from saying Serena was the best tennis player that ever lived. Still don't want to give her credit. I could give so many examples of this. And in the midst of our resting, the Black excellence just keeps rolling on. I don't know this young man with the baseball, but I do know how they did that boy from American Idol, Jamal Roberts, and how Carrie Underwood did him. It's a perfect example. That boy was in that competition by himself. I could listen to him sing all day. I would be doing stuff and put his TikToks on so they'll just keep playing over and over again. That boy, that's God in that throat. He got God's throat. He got God in his throat. Let's talk about just singers, for example. Y'all keep comparing Beyonce and Taylor Swift. I could go to any Black church in America and find 10 singers better than Taylor Swift. White people, mainstream praises mediocrity because they feel akin to it. Beyonce is excellence. Beyonce done came to the Grammys multiple times, been 0 for 8. Watching people like Taylor Swift and whoever take Grammys that was rightfully hers, Adele and whoever. Even Adele had to get up there and be like, listen, I didn't beat her, but somehow I won. This shit ain't right. Then she won the best country album and y'all gonna take the whole category away? Interesting. The girl who Coco Gauff beat said she never thought she would lose to a Black player because she had been playing so good. She said she's not trying to be racist. You should have said, I never thought I could lose. Why is it stinging extra more because she's a Black player? She kicked your ass and you're mad about it. So much that you would turn the hatred on yourself and say, I messed up. I didn't play good enough. I made too many mistakes. You would turn the hatred on yourself because it couldn't possibly be that this young Black girl whooped your ass. And that's exactly what she did. Listen, I don't know why people are pissed at us for having a good time. I hope they never find their way to help me find my draws side of TikTok. Because I don't know what's going on in Mississippi right now, but they down there cooking, baby. They down there cooking. They done sent Jamal to American Idol. They over there looking for their drawers in their neighbor's bedroom, all kind of things. If y'all end up on Help Me Find My Draws side of TikTok, you're going to get stuck there for about an hour or two because, listen.
I don't care what they call me. I know who I am and I know what I stand for, and I stand for Black excellence. So anything that goes against Black people being excellent, I'm not in agreement with. And if that makes me anti-Black, then I guess you're redefining what it means to be pro-black. If you think that being pro-black means being in agreement with degenerate behavior and being in cahoots with things that damage the community, no, then I don't want to be that. I don't want to be anything that is negative when it comes to the black community. No, I don't want to be in alignment with that. So if you have to say that I'm any of these buzzwords, I'll take that, because I stand for black excellence. I stand for black people working at their full potential, being the best they can be, not making excuses.
Shout out to Dana D 1987. I want to give her credit for that because she works very hard to grow her content. I think she thinks she has a second page, DD 1987 as well. Look, there's a group of us out there that has no F's to give. We're done. There's a group of black people that just like, listen, we're not going to stand for it anymore. We have a platform to speak out on it, and all the, like she calls them, buzzwords, the names that you call us, it just doesn't work anymore. It's not effective because we're coming at you. You're ruining our growth as black people. You're ruining our reputation. You're ruining black progress and advancement because you want us to stand for anything that's black, right, wrong, or indifferent. And there's a large group of TikTokers. Y'all call us Black MAGA, Black Trumper. Everybody's not into politics. So don't just label these people like me, who speak out against black ignorance versus black excellence. Don't call us Black Trumpers, Black MAGA, I bet he's Republican. All the, you buck dancing for the man and the coon. And it doesn't work. We're not going to hide anymore. It's ineffective. So do know that we are here. And the more I see content like this, the more resolve it gives me, the more it emboldens me to speak more, the more it empowers me to speak more, because we're just sick and tired of it. And she was talking about in the prior video that a lady was in Memphis saying, I'm so happy that Donald Trump sent the National Guard here, and then all these people piled on her. I bet she a Trump supporter. I bet she's this. You know what? It doesn't work. I even put a video up here yesterday with a picture of a raccoon dancing around a bunch of saltines. I was like, this is what they call me for my content. I just don't care. I get people, you always coming down on the black man. Well, stop doing that shit. As they say, that sucker shit. You know what I mean? Seriously, serious biz. Knock it off. Because there's a group of us out here on this app that ain't going to stand for it anymore. So as much ignorance as you can put on this app, all the snatch and grabs that we see from stores, all the thug shit, all the ratchet stuff we see on this, we need to counter that with a balance. We need to counter it and say, nah, we don't accept it.
Bitch, I thought you knew. I thought you knew that the reason your coworkers hate you and your supervisor has turned against you is because you're fucking them up. Code for traumatizing them. When you overperform, outperform, solve problems that they haven't even yet identified, you make people look incompetent. You make them look mediocre and unqualified for the job. And if you look like us, that's risky business. So once they figure that out, they're not going to flee or fawn. They're going to fight, which means fight for their survival so they can sustain their position and continue to hold on to their job. So when they fight for survival, that means your ass got to go. You know, they're going to try to demean you, discredit you, make you look unprofessional, mob you, give you the silent treatment. They're not playing. Why? Because they're fighting for their life. Their trauma response is to fight. So I needed you to understand that it's not just that you're making them feel bad, you're fucking them up. You're traumatizing them. And they have only one legitimate response, which is to get rid of you. I hope you understand that better now. Their trauma response is to treat you bad, to make you feel wrong, to make you feel incompetent and insufficient, so that either you will leave or they will set you up to fire you. And that's the only legitimate response to have to trauma. You need to think about your response to their trauma response. And that's what my posts have been all about.
What I want to now do is to look at Black excellence. You see, I was real concerned about if you thought that being white was being smart, then that means that being Black is being what? Okay, and I won't even put dumb on the board. That's embarrassing. But I have a real concern with if being white is being smart, then what does being Black mean? You see, before 1954, we didn't act this way. Being Black meant being the best. And we need to redefine again what it means to be Black. See, I'm from the old school. See, I was taught that Hippocrates was not the first doctor, that the first doctor's name was Imhotep. What I'm getting at is, whether we're talking about science, in every area that we've been allowed to participate in, we've always been the best. All we've ever needed was the opportunity. So in science, was Imhotep, or Granville Woods, or Lewis Latimer, or George Washington Carver, or Walter Massey, or Sister Jemison, our first Black female astronaut, you name the area. All we've ever needed was the opportunity. We're talking about Black excellence, because it used to be being Black meant being the best. If it's in business, we have strong men and women there as well. Reginald Lewis, who now owns a large company that he just acquired, or John Johnson at Ebony Magazine, or Ed Gardner at Soft Sheen. All we've ever needed was the opportunity. In writing, can you all name me a very good writer? Rather than me just giving you all the names. Can you name me a Black writer that you think is very, very good? Yes. Nikki Giovanni. Any others?
Richard Wright.
Richard Wright, Toni Morrison, Alice Walker, Gwendolyn Brooks, Alex Haley. In education, Carter G. Woodson, Benjamin Mays, and Mary Petrell, the current president of education. Strong Black men and women. In television, who has the best show on television right now? Bill Cosby. And the best newscaster in terms of the talk shows, there's two. Actually, they're both in the morning. Who are they? Morning talk show hosts. Brian Gumbel, who's the other one? The female. And Oprah Winfrey. You name the area, we've been good at it. What about in the movies? Who has the greatest box office attraction in the movies? Eddie Murphy. And then you add on people beside Eddie Murphy, Cicely Tyson, and Jones, and Lou Gossett. You name the area, we've been good at it. Let's move to music. Name some top stars in music. Michael Jackson. Who else? Anita Baker. Luther Vandross. Stevie Wonder. Aretha Franklin. What about sports? Who's the best basketball player? Michael Jordan. Who has rushed for more yards in football in the history of the sport? Rushed for more yards. Just retired from Chicago. Walter Payton. Okay. And who hit more home runs than anybody in baseball, including more than Babe Ruth? Initials H.A. Hank Aaron. Okay. So again, you name the area, we've been good at it. Nor are we lazy. Think about it. The rumor is we're lazy. If we're lazy, why'd they bring us to work America? If we were lazy, they could have kept using their servants. We are the world's greatest workers. We're not lazy. In addition to that, we raise their children. We're good at nurturing as well. Also, who received the Nobel Peace Prize? And he lives in South Africa, Zania, right now. Matter of fact, one is living, one died. The Nobel Peace Prize. One lived in America, one lived in South Africa. One is dead, one is alive. Nobel Peace Prize. The one in America was Martin Luther King. And who's the other one? He lives in South Africa right now. Bishop Tutu. Okay? So again, and also, who received more votes with less money? He didn't win, but he had the best run campaign. Jesse Jackson. What I'm getting at is, whatever the area is, science, business, writing, music, TV, movies, you name the area, all we've ever needed was the opportunity. All we've ever needed was the opportunity. What I want you to understand is, to be Black means to be the best. When you go to your schools with white and Asian students, you represent the race. You represent Imhotep. You represent Marcus Garvey. You represent King Akhenaten. You represent Nikki Giovanni. You represent Bill Cosby. To be Black means to be the best. And we have to work on this. We have to...
To all of my Black friends, listen, I need to say this from the heart.
You don't have to keep shrinking to fit into a world that was never built with you in mind. All that stuff they taught us about professionalism, that wasn't about excellence. That was about conformity. That was about white normative behavior. I'm Scott Lloyd, scholar of race, religion, culture, and communication. Check out my book, The God I Was Given. It's available for pre-order on Amazon now. Look the part, they said, but whose part? Straight hair, light voice, neutral clothes, no big earrings, no dialect, no edge. Keep your feelings in check. Don't get too passionate. Don't be too anything. That's not professional. That's being erased. Dressed it up nice, sure. They made it sound like success. But let's call it what it really is, a centuries-old set of rules designed to make you disappear while still showing up to work. And if you're not white, whose rules? They never stop shifting. So you adjusted, you learned to code switch, you tamed your curls, you softened your tone, you changed your names on resumes. Your ideas were stolen. In meetings you said nothing because you know what it cost to speak up. You've done this to survive. But here's the part that cuts deep. We start judging each other by the same messed up standard. We side-eye somebody's outfit. We roll our eyes at the way they talk and whisper, "She's not polished." When what we mean is, she's not performing whiteness well enough. And that, my friends, that's how white supremacy keeps winning, by making people work for it. So no, I'm not saying throw professionalism in the trash. I'm saying take it back, redefine it, make it yours. Excellence doesn't mean erasure. Respect doesn't mean silence. Professionalism doesn't mean pretending that you're something that you're not. You don't have to prove your worth by how much you can endure white spaces. You're not better because you've mastered the art of blending in. And to my white folks listening, if you care enough to look in the mirror, ask yourself, who made the rules, who benefits, and who gets shut out? If your idea of qualified only looks, talks, and thinks like you, then it's not a qualification. It's colonization in a necktie. To my black brothers, sisters, and family, keep showing up in your fullness, in your fire, in your culture. You don't have to apologize for your presence. You are the standard. And if the room doesn't recognize your brilliance, it's the room that's broken.
I'm redefining black excellence because we need to rework the definition. We let Jay-Z get away with opening the 4040 Club and celebrated it. We celebrated him opening a nightclub so more of us could stumble out of a place at 3 a.m. with Henny Me. We celebrated the Duce brand because that's what we needed. Shoot, quiet as it's kept, we celebrated Ciroc. What do all of these things have in common? Nothing for you, nothing for me, and everything for the person who runs that. Who doesn't really run it, but we're not going to get into that just yet. Jay-Z's contribution to the community is a curious one because on one hand, you see the vision of black excellence, buying up all these homes, all these paintings, all of this ridiculously extravagant and just overwhelming wealthy stuff. But on the other you go, what did that do for us? How did Jay-Z owning Tidal help us out at all? Did it? I don't think so. And this is a very, very curious situation. Because since I was a kid, Jay-Z was quite literally the picture of black excellence. But you gotta ask yourself, why? I'm not done because Jay had us in such a chokehold. People asked, would you rather $500,000 or dinner with this man? And dudes with brims on their scullies everywhere went, yo, you gotta go Jay-Z, it's the knowledge, it's the knowledge. The knowledge, interesting. So you mean like the things that he said on 444? What if I told you he said the...
One of the many weird ass things to come out of the response of that video that I posted is seeing just how many white people are doing digital blackface. I did not realize the extent. And by digital blackface, I mean like these are white people commenting from accounts that are made to look like they're run by black people. Like they have a black person in the profile picture. They have like a general like black person's name. Like, but the comment is very clearly from a white person. Like, we see you. I don't know why you think that you're slick, but it's just, like, That's scary. Like to go out of your way to make a fake profile. It's one thing to have like the fake like throwaway burner accounts where it's just like user whatever the fuck and a bunch of numbers, or it's just like, you know, something generic that doesn't have like a profile picture and it has like no followers and no posts, or it's private and they like follow like 2,000 something people. But to do the digital blackface and harass black people, like y'all really know no bounds. Like it would be amazing if it was not so horrifying.
What's up, John Lucas here. So I saw what happened between Will Smith and Chris Rock at the Oscars, and of course social media is set ablaze on how it should have been handled. Me being in my mid-40s, I now am old enough to know and understand. A lot of our black brothers and sisters don't really love black people. They love black excellence, and they love black people's proximity to whiteness. You can say what you want, but at the end of the day, black people are not upset that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. They are mad that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock in front of white people. Know the difference.
This incident that happened in Walmart of 11 people getting hurt or killed. I haven't looked at the news. I was just scrolling TikTok and I saw this video of the literal like hero who stopped the crazy guy from hurting everybody. His name's Derek Perry. There's a video thanking him for his heroism. And there's comments on this video saying, yeah, good job, Derek Perry, but do you see the two other dudes standing on business? Mind you, Derek Perry is black. You can't make this shit up. They can't win. Ever. They can save lives. And it's just like, yeah, good job. But
dear white people, especially the ones that happen to be Christian, they can't bear to hear the words of Black Lives Matter without feeling the need to respond negatively and criticize and say all lives matter. I'm going to give you a quick little history lesson, so go ahead and grab your Bibles and I'm going to educate you really quick, okay? Thanks. In Luke 15, there's a story about 100 sheep. One of the sheep leaves the pack. Jesus goes after the one and leaves the 99 behind. The 99 respond with, but wait, what about us? Aren't we important? And Jesus responds with, yes, you're important, but the one that left the pack is the one that's in danger. So that is why I say it, and I will continue to say Black Lives Matter. As a black man, as a black homosexual man, I matter. And I deserve to be seen just the way the 99 are seen on a daily basis. So I would continue to say and say and say again, Black Lives Matter.
Hello, brothers and sisters. I really hope you're all doing fine from wherever you're watching this video from. Now, a lot of white people are coming out to admit the evils they committed against the black people. Now, at the same time, they are very frustrated and worried because most of the black people that they thought they had brought down for 400 years are now coming out to excel well and do business and are actually not complaining about the hard economy in the US. Now, for many years, the black community has been known to be complaining about so many things happening in the US, whereas the white people have received privileges in these years. They have had a very good life compared to the black people. These are the same people the system has always favored. Now, it is coming to a point where the black people have stopped complaining about the economy. They have gained whatever is called immunity to hardship. And this is not sitting well. You know, they say when you have a hostage who is always complaining about something, or when you have a very sick person who is complaining about pain and they suddenly stop complaining about the same thing, that must be worrying, because it means something worse is yet to happen, or they're planning evil against you, or they're planning something. They have a plan. And this is why most of the white folks are now worried. You must remember that the black people have always been complaining about the economy because the system has always been fair against them. Now, look at some of the things that have happened in the black community. When they had Martin Luther King Jr., he was taken down. They complained, nothing was done later on. They had Malcolm X. He was taken down. They complained, nothing was taken, no action was taken later on. They have had leaders who were taken down for speaking the truth or for trying to bring the black people together. Now, later on, the black people gained immunity against most of the things that have always happened to them. Now, look at the things that happened to the black folks and they gained immunity. Look at the police brutality, for instance. The police brutality has been happening for years. Now, look at some of the biasness taking place in many fields in the US. Talk about the farmers. It has always been the white farmers who have been receiving bailouts and loans because the system has made them to feel very much privileged for being white. Now, later on, the black people have received segregation. Segregation has happened not only because of their race, at the job places where they work, in schools, in institutions, in government institutions. But whenever they talked about this, people said they're aggressive. People actually came out to say how much the black people need to shut their mouth and start working. They are now silent. They are not complaining about the economy. They are now immune to all these things that are happening at the moment. The whole country is worried. It is just some few days I was seeing the US president giving praise to the black community, saying how much they helped build the US. They give credit with words, but they have never gave credit. They have never given credit when it comes to actions. Black reparation is something that should have been paid by this time. Black community should be reparated, not because it's a favor, not because black are not doing good in this economy, because blacks worked for 400 years without a pay. They lost their loved ones. Now, see, the US is a first world country. Thanks and credit to those who worked as slaves for 400 years. Look at the countries where they came from, Africa. It is in total shatters. Look at the situation of Africa at the moment, where these blacks were taken from. It is a complete disaster because everything was taken from here, including workers to go and work in the US with the mineral resources that belonged to Africa. Now, the black people are keeping quiet because they feel like their voice has never been taken seriously. No one has ever considered to taking them serious in a point where they will sit down and digest whatever complaints the black community is bringing forward. Now, this has made the black community now to take it in a way that they have never been listened to. And even if they came out to talk about all these things, no one is there to listen to them. So why should they continue making so much noise when no one is there to listen to them? Why should they listen, or why should they come out to help the white community talk about the things that are happening, including the tariffs, high cost of living, skyrocketing prices of goods, and all these other things that they are complaining about, when there has never been a platform where the white people came out to give support to the black community. You remember back during the COVID time when George Floyd was taken down, a movement was started across Africa and across the diaspora. The whole world was watching. The movement was Black Lives Matter in the diaspora. Why was that important? Because as much as a black person is taken down, it must be taken seriously because that's a life. Life, the right to life has no, it should not be looked on the basis of color or race or religion or culture. It matters. Whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a Christian, whether you are black, brown, white, red, it doesn't really matter. Whatever matters is, has it been treated equally to everyone? You can't tell me that someone else's life is bigger than someone else's life, the right to life. So other people dying is a very big thing. But when others are taken down for minor mistakes, it's not a big thing. Now, when this was taken, when the movement began, most people criticized this. And some of them argued out that for how long are we going to see these demonstrations? For how long are they going to complain about a life that was lost, just like other lives that are being lost in Iran, Pakistan, and all these other countries? Now, something that you do forget is that these are the same people you will need their help one day. When you bash out your neighbors, you don't expect any time you scream because a thief banged into your house that someone is going to show up. You must be very careful how you relate with others. This is a moment when black people and brown people will have come out to help with whatever is happening in the US. Why are they choosing to keep quiet? They're keeping quiet because the people asking for help have never been there to offer help to them when they needed them most. So, why is unity important? You might be asking yourself that question. It is important to the fact that the black community will only come to help when you helped them. The white community will come only to help when you helped them. Now, why should the black community consider going to help the black community, the white community, when they have never stood with them in any of these things that are happening? Who are always against paying reparations? They think reparations, it's their tax. Yeah, it is your tax. Now, it is your tax because someone else made that country great. You know, someone had to work for 400 years to make the US a first world country. Who knew the US before First and Second World War? Who knew the US? The US is known because it took slaves from Africa. It took the children of Africa and enslaved them. Same to the UK and Europe. That happened, and they do not apologize with actions. They apologize by the word of mouth. For how long are we going to see this? This is the reason why God is still punishing all these countries. If you do not change your ways, maybe something bigger is coming. A disaster is coming your way. You who is watching this video, you can influence all those others to change their ways. You might not be the one who did that, who enslaved the black community, but you still live in the privileges that were left by your forefathers, by your grandfathers and your fathers and your mothers. The privileges that they gained, the wealth that they gained by enslaving others. So what makes you think you're different? If you still enjoy these things that they were left to you, you still enjoy the system that was set on the basis of racism and biasness. A system that your cousins, your brothers and sisters have inherited without changing a thing. They have continued with the same oppression that was left by their grandfathers and by the founders of slavery. What makes you think you are different? If you've not come out to denounce the slavery that was done and start acting as a normal human being who cares about their brothers and sisters. I'm not complaining because someone else is not doing whatever I want. I'm complaining because someone else is not doing whatever is right, but they need you to do whatever they think is right on their side. That's very delusional in the first place, and that's being so unfair and selfish. You only thinking of yourself and not of others. First, we must denounce every evil that was done before coming to complain that the black community is silent. For how long are we going to complain? For how long are we going to say that they are silent without really going to know why they are silent? Seek the reason before you start venting. Thank you so much. May you have a good time. If it's your first time on this channel, please consider subscribing, sharing this information, and leaving a comment and liking the video so that it might reach as many people as it can. We must change for a better tomorrow and for a better universe. Thank you. See you. Adios.